In this video, we're going to explain how our pay-it-forward donation system works. By watching this video, you assume that you've already watched our main presentation video for Weshare crowdfunding and already have a good idea of how Weshare is different from every other crowdfunding platform that exists today. It is in fact a totally new concept for crowdfunding and already being tagged as the crowdfunding platform for a new generation of crowdfunding project managers. For best practices and compliance reasons, we're going to start off by giving you our quick disclaimer, and then we'll get into the actual topic of how our pay-it-forward donation system works. We first want to say that this is not a business or income opportunity. Any statements or claims in regards to funding, income, or revenues generated by any of the concepts, ideas, or programs presented during this video are purely hypothetical. They're based on voluntary contributions provided, and we make no claims, no warranties, or guarantees that you will ever receive any such funding or voluntary contributions whatsoever. Each individual's success depends largely upon his or her own commitment, desire, and personal efforts. Any funding samples or testimonials of received contributions are to be construed as non-typical and hypothetical and does not happen the same for everyone in the real world. They're only hypothetical examples since everyone's results will differ and their own funding situation will always be unique against all the others. So we encourage you to get informed before making any decision to use the concept or methods presented in this video. Okay, with that said, we can now move into what we came here for, and that's to explain how our pay-it-forward donation system works. This pay-it-forward donation system is only applicable to crowdfunding using the Weshare platform and after becoming a member of the Weshare community, which you can do at no charge to you whatsoever. So let's address crowdfunding. Crowdfunding has become a worldwide phenomenon that is now helping to make the dreams of people just like you and I come true every day. It is also the fastest growing social trend online around the world. However, thanks to the Weshare community, a new crowdfunding concept has evolved to now take crowdfunding onto the next level. And that's very simply because there are no sign-up fees or funding percentages whatsoever. There are no project page hosting fees either. There are no time limits, deadlines, or product or project restrictions. There's a built-in marketing system that fuels your donations, and there are no payback requirements or returns involved ever. You keep 100% of the contributions provided to you always. And this new form or era of crowdfunding is very simply called community-shared crowdfunding. It's not equity-based, where investors have invested towards your project to keep a percentage of it. Not rewards-based, where you'll be pre-selling or giving out something in return for their contributions. It's most definitely not debt-based, since it's not a loan. It is very simply community-shared crowdfunding, which by new definition, funds being shared by a community of people to help fulfill the needs of one another by giving small one-time monetary contributions. Unlike all the other platforms on the internet, we voluntarily contribute to other project managers within our community that have come before us. Hey, will you accept this money to help fund your important project, need, or want? We follow the time-tested fundamental human principle of do unto others as you would have them do unto you. We also utilize the biblical wealth and spiritual truth principle of planting the seed first by donating to someone else's important project within the community, allowing that seed to grow and produce for us in return. We do that by asking this very simple question: who do you know that needs money for something that's important to them? We ask that question because when you ask that simple question, you will always find someone who is looking for money, who wants to start a new business, build or renovate a church, create a project to make a better world, fund a home improvement project, fund or pay off college loans or plan a wedding, buy a new car or home, create a retirement fund, pay off pressing loans, bills, or mortgages, or a whole list of other things that you'll find they want to do and need money for. So this is how it works. Let's start off by taking a look at your project. To get your project funded, you will first make a one-time donation to the project manager who invited you to the Weshare crowdfunding community. In this example, we see that it's a veterans project. We view funding as a step-up process, the same as you would do if you were climbing up a spiral staircase. As you'll see here as we continue, we actually have 7 floors with 3 funding steps in between each floor. For most project managers, their goal is to reach floor number 7 to assure themselves of reaching their funding goals. So you are on the first floor when you join Weshare, and therefore, you will want to take the 3 necessary steps on floor number 1 to move up to floor number 2. When you take those 3 steps with a one-time voluntary donation to the project manager before you, you then become qualified to receive donations from other project managers who join in behind you. They'll be donating to you from each floor behind you as you are donating to those before you. Likewise, when you've taken all 3 steps on floor number 2, you are then eligible to receive donations from others who join our community that are on floor number 2 behind you. Again, from the people you've invited and those who have joined behind them. They will all be contributing to you as well. The same goes for each floor on up to the 7th floor. Each time you complete the 3 steps on each floor by voluntarily contributing to the other project before you at that same floor level, you become eligible to receive donations at the same floor level behind you. Now let's take an even closer look at the 3-step process, and we'll use just the first floor for this example. The first step is a $50 donation, which consists of $10 plus $40 to accelerate you receiving donations 4 times faster. Pay close attention here, and you'll see what I'm talking about in just a few seconds. The second step is also a $50 donation to the same project manager who invited you. The third step is a $100 donation to the same project manager who invited you to our community. When you've completed all 3 steps on floor number 1, you contributed a total of $200 to the project manager before you, and you are on the next floor up to floor number 2. You're also eligible to begin receiving donations towards your project. By the way, this $200 donation to the project manager who invited you is a one-time only donation. These are the only funds to ever come out of your pocket. Let's say, from all the friends, co-workers, neighbors, or just people that you know, only 2 of them need or want money towards something that's important to them. Remember, you're not asking them for money. You're simply asking them if they have a need or know of anyone who has a need for money towards something that's important to them. So you have 2 friends that need or want money for something that's important to them, Jasmine and Rachel. Here's what that's going to look like with just 2 people. Here's your project in the center on floor number 1, and we're going to show you the amounts you'll be donating to projects that have come before you, and also the donations that come into your project from other projects that come into the community from just, for this example, 2 of your friends, Jasmine and Rachel. In order to begin the funding process towards your project, you're going to first donate to the project manager who invited you into our shared community. Since you are on the first floor, you'll be taking those 3 steps we talked about on floor number 1, which comes to $200 donated towards a project manager within our shared community. Again, this $200 donation to the project manager who invited you is a one-time only donation, the only amount of money that will ever have to come out of your pocket. Pay close attention and you'll understand how this funding system can easily become a self-funding platform from which to raise funds for your project. When you've completed those first 3 steps, you have moved up to floor number 2 and are now qualified to receive donations from Jasmine and Rachel. They too will want to qualify their 2 projects to receive funding donations, so they'll each be donating $200 to you since you invited them to our shared community. Since they are on the first floor, those first floor donations are provided to you directly and are yours 100%. That's 2 times $200, which equals $400 that you've received towards your project to begin the funding process within our shared community of project managers. So if you look now to the upper left-hand corner, you started a funding account with $400 donated to you directly, and you now have $400 in your project funding account. Since you are on floor number 2 and still needing more money to reach your funding goal, remember, you must first give to a project before you to qualify to receive from the floors below you. So in order to do that, you will again step up to the 3rd floor by taking those 3 steps on floor number 2 and giving to other project managers before you. As you can see here, floors number 2 through 7 are handled differently. Funding is at 100% on the first floor, as you've received 100% of the $400 donated to you from just 2 people. And then the donations are divided to fund 3 separate projects, with 50% to the project manager on the same floor you are on now, then 25% to the one before them, and then another 25% to the project manager before them. That makes 100% of the money donated given to 3 separate projects before you. So you are actually funding 3 projects before you, beginning from floors number 2 on up. So to step up on floor number 2, you are donating $320, which is going towards 3 separate projects before you, 50%, 25%, and 25%, and you've stepped up to floor number 3. You'll notice in your funding account that those $320 on floor number 2 did not come out of your pocket. They came out of your funding account. And that's because this is a self-funding platform. So that money was deducted from your funding account, leaving you with an $80 balance in your account. Since you've completed all 3 steps on floor number 2, you are now eligible to receive contributions from project managers on floor number 2 who have joined in behind you. For this example, we're going to use a perfect world scenario and say that your 2 friends, Jasmine and Rachel, each brought in 2 of their own friends to join up with our shared community to have their own projects funded as well. So we're looking at 4 new projects that have joined our community. As they reach the 2nd floor after giving to their projects before them, namely Jasmine and Rachel, and have taken the 3 steps on their 2nd floor as you have, you will be receiving 50% of those donations towards your project because they are on floor number 2, and those contributions are divided to fund 3 separate projects as well. They've each donated $320, and 50% of that is $160, times 4 new projects, which equals to $640 donated to your project from within our shared community of project managers. Now let me ask you a question. Do you know these people? Probably not. But still, since this is a shared community, they will be contributing to help fund your project just as you have donated to help fund other projects before you. Make sense? You are now on floor number 3. So in order to reach your funding goal and receive more contributions from other joining community members, you must first give to other project managers before you. On floor 3, you will take the 3 steps to fund 3 other project managers before you to the amount of $640. Remember, you received $640 when Jessica and Rachel's 2 friends joined the community and stepped up onto floor number 2. So that money was added to your account, leaving you $720 to allow you to now fund 3 projects before you at $640. That again will be divided to fund those 3 projects, but the system does that for you, and you will never have to worry about separating any of the donations that you're providing. So here, you again are left with an $80 balance in your funding account. However, since you've taken the 3 steps on floor number 3 to fund 3 projects before you, you are now eligible to receive from the projects on floor number 3 behind you. Again, with our perfect world scenario, those 4 projects behind Jasmine and Rachel invite 2 friends who each join our community. So you now have 8 new projects donating to your project, where you receive 50% of those donations on floor number 3. 50% of $640 at floor 3 is $320. So that's 8 times $320 donated towards your project, which comes to $2,560 added to your funding account. Your account now has a balance of $2,640. Since your project still needs more money and you want to reach your funding goal, you want to take the 3 steps on floor number 4 to fund 3 projects before you. At floor number 4, you are donating a total of $1,280 towards 3 projects before you at 50%, 25%, and 25%, which moves you up to floor number 5. Again, that $1,280 did not come out of your pocket, but it was deducted out of your project funds account to step up to floor number 5. Since you have completed all 3 steps on floor number 4, you are now eligible to receive from new project managers coming in on floor number 4 behind you. That's 16 new project managers donating at floor number 4. 50% of $1,280 is $640. So 16 times $640 comes to a total of $10,240 being donated towards your project, leaving you a balance of $11,600 in your funding account. To again step up to the next floor level, you would take the 3 steps on floor number 5 to fund 3 project managers before you at 50%, 25%, and 25%. That amount comes to $2,560 donated to other projects before you, leaving you now $9,040 in your funding account. Since you've stepped up to floor number 6 by funding others from floor number 5, you are now eligible to receive from new project managers on floor number 5 behind you. Again, using our perfect world 2x2 scenario, you now have 32 new project managers from floor number 5. 50% of $2,560 is $1,280. So 32 times $1,280 comes to $40,960 being donated towards your project and being added to your account to leave you with a balance of an even $50,000. You're on floor number 6 now, but you can continue stepping up to fund more projects from your account surplus. So you fund 3 more projects before you on floor number 6 to the amount of $5,120, leaving you a balance of $44,880 in your funding account. Since you have completed all 3 steps on floor number 6, you're now eligible to receive 50% of the funding donations from those on floor number 6 behind you. 2 times 32 new project managers is 64 new project managers. 50% of $5,120 is $2,560. So 64 times $2,560 comes to $163,840 being donated towards your project. And added to your account, you now have $208,720 in your funding account. You are now on the last floor, number 7, and here you can still contribute to other projects before you by taking the 3 steps to fund them at 50%, 25%, and 25%. That comes to a total of $10,240 being donated to project managers before you, leaving you a balance of $198,480 in your funding account. Since you have now completed all 3 steps to the final floor, number 7, you are now a member of the 7th Floor Club and will no longer be required to step up. You are also now eligible to receive donations at every floor level behind you. So let's take a look at what that looks like for you. Again, we've only looked at the results from just 2 people that you personally referred to our shared community, who also referred just 2, and so forth and so on, using our perfect world 2x2 scenario. You are now eligible to receive donations from new project managers that are also contributing at floor number 7 at 50%, just like you have. 50% of $10,240 is $5,120. So 128 new project managers contributing $5,120 each to your project comes to $655,360 being added to your funding account, leaving you $853,840 in your funding account to use towards your project. Yes, and while that is a substantial amount of money, that's only the 50% level of donations. We have not taken into consideration the other 25% and 25% at each floor from the 2nd floor on up. If you were to add that in, you would calculate to have well over $1 million that has been voluntarily donated towards your project from other project managers from within our new generation leveraged community shared crowdfunding platform. So let me ask, who's ready to share and ask others? Who do you know that needs money for something that's important to them? Because we share crowdfunding. To get started, simply get back to the project manager who invited you to watch this presentation.